guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Married to Medicine. This is season 9, episode 4. And y'all, this show is a good time. This show is a fun ride. All right, so let's get into it. So y'all know, if I find something on the timeline that's salacious, we talk about it. But I'm trying to figure out like a cool name for that, because I feel like people are like, Leah, we know what this is, especially even though I don't even have that many followers like that. I feel like the people who do follow my videos are like, girl, stop explaining. We know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to find like a cool way to like call this section or something. I don't know. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Quad. We're going to talk about Quad and Anila, but I'll talk about Anila first. So Anila had jokes, especially about, her little U-Haul thing. So this is what she said on Twitter the day before, or no, the day after, or while the episode was going on. She said, and move quick, because you never know when they're gonna move again. Hashtag Married to Medicine. And then she replied underneath it, and she said, listen and listen closely. Hashtag Married to Medicine. And it was a video of a preview of like what Dr. Heavenly said on her channel. So if you want to check out Heavenly's review about the episode, Dr. Heavenly previewed a little like 1-minute clip of what she was talking about in her what she would be talking about in her reviews. So basically in that clip, she talked about how Eugene had DM'd Anila saying to watch out for Quad and Heavenly, that they're not like really her friends. So I don't get why Anila posted this, because I think Anila was trying to say like this was her reasoning for coming at Eugene and Toya with the U-Haul costume, when I was like, that's not really a reason. In my opinion, it's like, okay, he didn't say anything slick to you. All he said was like, watch out for them, because from his eyes, he doesn't feel like they're your friends. Now, he shouldn't have said that, because y'all aren't friends like that. You and Toya aren't friends like that. And maybe he was just trying to give her like a heads up. But I didn't get why Anila retweeted this as like, oh, this was kind of like she was trying to, it made it seem like this was her reasoning for doing what she did. And I'm like, that's not really a reason. But I'll play the audio for y'all, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll get on to Miss Quad. The
whole Halloween party goes back to Eugene DM'd Anila. He DM'd Anila and told her to watch out for Quad. I'm paraphrasing. Watch out for Quad and Heavenly. They're not really your friends, right? So my ignorant tail, I didn't think it was Eugene, because I thought they made a whole freaking doc. I did not think that he would do that. So I responded. Y'all know I don't talk to men. So I would have never responded if I thought it was Eugene. I responded. This real life now. This ain't even on TV. I responded to Eugene, but I thought it was Toya. So in the first episode, they did not show it. But Eugene did DM, and I thought that Toya should have took that for him and said, yeah, I did it. But she said, I was like, well, Toya, that's a big shit, I mean, he's touching with his feminine side or whatever. And Toya agreed with me. She said he should not have done that. You right, Heavenly. You absolutely right. He should not be DMing Anila about this big shit. Now, I've been saying this for years. Men stay optimists. Men stay optimists because it becomes different when the men get involved. That's just me. You can't get mad when the men get involved. This time, Eugene was like, well, it would have been all right if it was just Anila. But when he got involved, that's what really made me mad. That man got mad as hell. I don't know what they showed, but he started shaking. And he was like,
okay. So like I said, it's not a reason. And I do think Eugene shouldn't have, he shouldn't have done that. Like, you're not friends with Anila. It'd be different if Toya, Anila, and Kieran were like, and Eugene were like this, but they're not. So you trying to warn her about people, it does make Eugene look shysty. I didn't understand why Heavenly was like, Toya should have took that for Eugene. No, if his big-headed ass did it, why does she have to take the fall for it? I ain't taking nothing for nobody, whether you my man or not. I am not. Like, if he did it, he did it. So that didn't make sense to me for her to be like, oh, she should have just like took the fall for it. Girl, bye. You taking charges for daddy? You taking charges for him? Because I would never. But okay. But y'all should check out Heavenly's channel if you want to know more. I don't really watch her like that, because like I told y'all, I feel like Candy speak on it and Heavenly's thing sometimes sways when you're watching it. And I want to kind of come with like an unbiased opinion when I'm watching these videos and stuff like that. Especially sometimes when I review certain things. But Miss Quad, girl, Quad is gonna eat Heavenly up at the reunion, and I am here for it because Quad is with the shits, y'all. She with it, and I'm with it with her. So this is what Quad had to say on her Twitter. She posted this the day after the no, I think it's was it the day after? Yeah, no, it was the day after the episode, and this is what she said. You never know what's being said about you in other scenes. Watching the episode definitely offers clarity. Time for me to clear them. Hashtag, and she hit the hashtag like Married to Medicine, and then she hit the other hashtag for Married to Medicine. And it's time to clear them for me. Like, girl, Heavenly, and y'all, I like Heavenly. Like I told y'all, my fave on this show is Simone because she reminds me of my aunts, and I love my aunts. So Simone gives me like auntie vibes and my mom's friends, and I enjoy a lot of my mom's friends. But I like everybody on this show to a certain extent. But baby, Heavenly, we gonna talk about it. Heavenly, I feel like they are going to rip Heavenly a new one at this reunion, and I don't know if she gonna be able to handle it because Heavenly likes to act like she not sensitive, and she is. She really is. So let's get into this review. All right. So we are still at Contessa's house, and they are doing the intervention from hell. It is horrible. You got Heavenly still mad as Simone is trying to like talk to her, and she calls Simone a flip-flopping ass bee. And Simone's like, I'm not, but okay. You don't want to talk about it, Heavenly? I said, Simone, stop. Stop. And Heavenly's like, get away from me. I'm going to my car. So Heavenly goes to her car. Simone's like, bye. I was very much, I'd have been Simone, like, girl, ain't nobody chasing you. We not friends like that. Girl, go on. We trying to talk to you, but you don't want to talk. We then see a scene where it's Jackie, Quad, Anila, and Toya. And Quad and Anila are like, we get what y'all are saying, but this was not the way to do it. And Toya is very much so like, so what? Like she was just like, cause they were like, y'all ambushed her. And Toya, to Toya's credit, Toya was like, she's always ambushing us. So why can't we come back at her? So everyone goes sit back in the media room. Contessa is like upstairs. Like she is like frantic. She's like, you can tell she's like distressed and she's distraught. She's like ripping off her hair. She's like crying, trying to brush her hair up so she could clip on her little ponytail and put on her headband. She's like shutting the doors, I guess, like unchanging her clothes and trying to like get herself together because Contessa thought that Heavenly would see the video and apologize. Now I don't know what she thought. And I mean that for real. I don't know what the lady thought was going to happen because even I can tell that was not going to be the way to do it. And the thing about interventions are like, there has to be a purpose to them. Like, and there has to be order and like structure. And there was a purpose, but the order and the structure wasn't there. Like maybe if they all sat down and talked to Heavenly one-on-one, like at Contessa's house, or everyone just vocalized how they felt, and then if Heavenly tried to be like, oh, what I say isn't that bad, then showed the video, maybe it would have been like open eyes, because then everyone could be like, look, we're not trying to come at you, we just want you to know that what you're doing is hurting our feelings. But to do it in this manner where y'all hugging on her, y'all sitting down, she just thinks y'all about to watch a movie, and hit the click up. That's just, it wasn't it. It just wasn't it. So Jackie gets on the phone while everyone's in the media room, and she calls Heavenly trying to check up on her, and she's like, are you okay? Like, where are you? She was like, do you want me to come outside? And Heavenly's like, yeah, you can come outside, but I'm not going back in that house. And like I said, I don't like to look at, like, speak on it or Heavenly's reviews when it comes to Heavenly or Candy's reviews when it comes to reviewing, because sometimes it sways how you see things. So in this moment, I still thought everybody, like, it was a mess. It was a chaotic shenanigan full of mess, and I loved it. Okay, I loved it. But when Jackie goes outside and talks to Heavenly, she's like, "Can we mend the friendship?" And Heavenly's like, "Jackie, I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I need time." And I think that's because, yes, she felt ambushed. Yes, she felt ganged up on. But Heavenly said in her review that Contessa went and got her oldest daughter, or one of her daughters, because they have two daughters and a son, and brought one of the daughters down. I don't know if it was the oldest or the youngest. I'm thinking it was the oldest. But we were all under the impression that Scott and the kids weren't at the house while they were doing this. But no, they were still there. And Contessa went and got her daughter and basically was like, "This is who you're destroying with your YouTube channel," in but so many words. And I think that really like messed Heavenly up. Like, how could she do me like this? Along the lines of you getting with people who don't like me, i.e. Simone and Toya, and now you did this. Like, and if Contessa really did that, that was foul. That was foul. Why are you bringing a child into adult drama? Why are you trying to, and my thing with Contessa, and that's why I think a lot of people are side-eyeing Contessa. If you've watched my other reviews, I've always side-eyed Contessa. Contessa is so indecisive about her career goals and where she want to go in life that it bothers me. It really does. Like, everybody was coming down really hard on Scott about not really wanting to like support her with certain things, but I'm like, Contessa don't know what she want to do, and you can't have that mindset of indecisiveness when you got a husband and 3 kids. It's like, figure it out. Like, figure it out. And it's more so for the kids instead of Scott. It's like, and the reason why I said that she was getting on my nerves is because, like, when we met Contessa, it was all about being in the military. And as someone who is a military kid, I understand that. My mom was in the military for almost like 30 years. So I get it. But it's like, you came in as a military doctor. It was like military, military, military. Then you switched it up and said, "No, I want to be with my kids." And Scott was like, "Okay, cool. You don't have to be a army doctor or like working in, like, you can be a stay-at-home mom." So she did that. Then she wasn't fulfilled with that. So she decided, like, I need to go back to work. So she went back to work, but she was complaining about not really being in her kids' life and feeling like she wasn't there for them. Then we switch up, and now you're talking about you want to be a surgeon general, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's wonderful." Yes, that's wonderful, but like, y'all, that takes years. There is a like a plan. Like, when I mean a plan. Like, you got to come in the game, that being a goal in your forefront, like, before you start saying you want to be a surgeon general. Then she went to Meharry. Don't have no problems with that. I know people that go to Meharry, but you switched up what you wanted to be, and people didn't catch that. She went there for something else, and then all of a sudden switched up to addiction medicine. Now we coming back, and now we opening practices. She doing too much. That's a lot. That she doing too much, and I don't like it. I didn't like it, and I always felt that that lady was shifty, because she came in being friends with Toya and then switched up on Toya. The same way people feel like Toya switched up on Anila, Contessa did Toya that way, because Toya was the one that introduced Contessa. So I've always side-eyed that lady. I always felt like her and her husband was doing stunts and shows. So that's why I'm not completely on Contessa's side. I understand Contessa's frustrations with Heavenly, but the issue with Contessa is, for me, is, ma'am, you waited 5 months when it was time to film. And I get it. If this was your plan all along to be like, you know what? I'm gonna let this lady think we all good, and then when we get up on this TV, if she can air me out on YouTube for the masses, I can air her out on TV for the masses. And if she's doing that, I understand. 2 and 2, we do it tit for tat. I get it, but it's like, it's stunts and shows. You supposedly bringing your child down, you getting this angry, where it's like, ma'am, no one destroyed or tried to destroy your family except you and Scott. Last season, you and Scott decided to show everybody the the cracks in your marriage. You were over here saying when Giselle came on that episode when y'all were in DC, I don't know if what anybody's doing, if they cheating or not. I just know what I'm doing. I'm not saying nobody's cheating, but I don't know what anybody's doing. That lets people believe that, sis, there's something going on. As well as you got Scott's peanut headed self on TV showing people like DMs and text messages on his phone of girls messaging him and thinking it's cute while he is in the basement with Cecil. And I think Curtis was there and they was looking at him like, oh, that's all you, bro. We don't do that no more. I don't know about Curtis. Cecil's like, I ain't never did that. That's on you. We had other issues, but not that. So I'm like, Contessa, you can't scapegoat Heavenly. Even though Heavenly is wrong, but you can't scapegoat her and be like, she's the reason she's destroying our family. No, you and Scott couldn't handle the critiques people were giving about your marriage. You had everyone down at the reunion, basically like y'all getting a divorce. Like Quad told you to get a divorce if you're not happy. And then you got everybody else saying like, we don't want y'all to get a divorce, but if you're going to be happy, then get a divorce. So it's y'all. It was y'all. So why are we acting like it was just Heavenly? So then we have this funny moment where Simone and Quad end up starting to yell at each other because Quad is saying that like this wasn't the right way. Like this wasn't the right way. Like anytime I've had an argument with or issue with Heavenly, I talk to her one-on-one. And Simone in her confessional is like, sis, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, Quad, what are you talking about? Because you sprayed Heavenly. You sprayed that lady when you thought that lady was being shady, saying that your booty stank or something with that one picture. Do we have to read it? Because sis, this is what you said last year after you understood a laughing emoji. You said, they at Dr. Heavenly. Damn, sis. Don't be a hater all your life. Sorry you spent all your coins at the doctor and still didn't get the body God gave me. Now run and tell that. And you did laughing emojis, and then you hit hashtag lipo, hashtag lap band, hashtag bariatric surgery. So it's like, you can't sit here and tell everyone like, oh, this was not the way to do it. Y'all was just trying to get at her, but you've gotten at her. Simone has gotten at her, and to Simone's credit, when Simone was like, there's no way to talk, combat Heavenly, because we've seen Simone ask Heavenly like, yo, can you not do this? It hurts my family. You hurt me. Heavenly will apologize and do it again. You even told her that, and she did it again, and she did it in this episode, and we gonna talk about it. So it's like Toya said, y'all are arguing about the same thing because Simone wanted to talk. Simone didn't interrupt Quad when she was talking. So then Quad and Simone start yelling like two sisters at each other. And then Simone's like, this is America. I get to choose who I want to be around. Okay, I got choices. And everybody said, because this is America. And she said, yes. I scream. I don't know why, but I love when Simone yells. It just reminds me of like my mom and her sisters or her friends having a good time, drinking and laughing and kikiing. I just enjoy her loud self. So while that's going, we still see, like I said, we see Heavenly and Dr. Jackie outside. Heavenly is like distraught, about to be on the verge of tears because she just can't believe that Tess did her like this. And I do really think Heavenly is hurt, but I think Heavenly needs to understand if you're allowed to be hurt, your friends are allowed to be hurt by the antics and the way you acted on your YouTube channel. So hurt feelings all around. Hurt feelings all around. We then have a scene with Anila and Quad where Quad is like, Anila was like, yeah, but I don't think this is the right way. And Quad's like, I do agree with you, but no one forced her to say those things. She said those things out of her own mouth. And she treats her friends like they're her enemies. And if you can't tell the difference, are we really friends? And then Anila's like, well, I don't take what she says to heart. And I'm saying that's because she hasn't attacked something to you that's personal. Now, if Heavenly get on the internet and start talking about how much of a crappy mom you are and how it look like you don't know how to take your own kids and that hits you in your chest, then we'll be talking about how you have some issues with Heavenly. But right now it's cute because she hasn't hit anything that really bothers you, Anila. But I'm like, it's coming. Because honestly, I think what's really bothering Contessa is Contessa didn't think Heavenly was gonna do her like that. Like you got not quite. You got Heavenly calling Contessa Tess. So it's like they seem like they had that friendship. She said they was going on trips. They were doing things like that. And I think Contessa is like, yeah, I was on your YouTube channel and we were talking about the other ladies because I've been on the YouTube channel and like I've seen clips of when Heavenly has had Contessa on, and Heavenly has and Contessa have talked about Toya like a dog and Simone like a dog. Was saying like Simone was jealous of Dr. Jackie's stand-in and all of that stuff and things of that nature. And it's like, I think Contessa just thought that their friendship was on a level where she would never hit her like that. But you got hit. Because I think everyone needs to realize in Heavenly's eyes, everybody is fair game except her and Daddy. That's it. That's it. We then see a scene where Jackie goes back in the house. Heavenly blocked everybody in. So, and that's the other thing. Heavenly blocked everybody in because she couldn't figure out on her phone how to like open up her car. I never knew that was an app, and I low-key think that's dangerous because I'm just kind of like, girl, what if your battery, like what if your phone dies? What if your phone is like on like 3% and it's not letting you unlock the car? What if somebody's running up behind you? Like, girl, where are the keys? Where are the keys? Like, no ma'am. No ma'am, girl. No, but she finally unlocks her car and everybody's ready to get out. We see Jackie go back in the house, and Jackie goes to check on Contessa. And Contessa's like, Jackie, you were absolutely right about her. You were absolutely right about her. And Jackie's hugging her. And Contessa's like, if she was reckless, and now I can be reckless too. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. But I thought it was funny that Contessa was like, Jackie was absolutely right about Heavenly, and I took that as twofold. Not twofold, but two ways. Either one, Jackie and Contessa had talks about Heavenly, and when Jackie has probably told Contessa like, girl, don't take what she says to heart because one, she's not gonna understand or get it, and what she says has no weight or no bearing. Or two, they've been talking cash money trash about Heavenly, and it is what it is. Because Contessa asks Jackie, like, well, how do you deal with her talking about your marriage? And Jackie is like, I don't take the things she says to heart because her opinion doesn't matter to me. So I think to Jackie, Heavenly's not really a friend. She probably sees Heavenly like, Heavenly probably is a friend, but she's a friend that you only deal with on occasions in Jackie's world, I think. But that's where that scene ends. And the intervention is over. So let's move on to the next scene. Now we have two scenes that are kind of juxtaposed to like each other, where we have Timon. Toya meeting up at Simone's office to talk about what happened last night at the intervention, as well as it seems like Heavenly was on her lunch break because she was still in scrubs meeting up with Anila to also talk about what happened that night. So in the scene with Toya, with Toya and Simone, I only picked up on two things. Toya constantly calling Anila an idiot when I'm like, you need to chill on that because everyone calls you dumb, stupid, and lazy, Toya. So it's like, if you don't want them saying that about you, you might want to ease up calling this lady an idiot because it's not so nice. Okay? At least she doing something, I guess. Blogging, I mean, she get paid to blog. You need to figure out how to do that too. Bring an income in, sis. So chill out. And then Simone saying that she doesn't know if Jackie, Quad, or Anila are afraid of Heavenly or just enabling her. And they were just saying how like everything went to hell once Anila got there, like her vibe was off. And Anila, they even showed like a flashback of like before they showed the video, Anila tells Heavenly like, oh, you about to get attacked, girl. And I was like, well, I mean, she didn't agree with it. Like, I can't fault her for trying to warn her friend because she didn't agree with what was about to happen. But I do feel like I don't think any of those three ladies are afraid of Heavenly because we've seen them come at Heavenly. We've seen Anila call Heavenly Miss Piggy when they were in DC last season. We've seen Quad, I just read it for you a few minutes ago, earlier in the video, coming at Heavenly's neck. And we've seen Jackie come at Heavenly when she told Heavenly she didn't want to look like a busted can of biscuits like Heavenly. So I don't think the women are afraid of Heavenly. I do think in some regards they somewhat enable Heavenly, especially Jackie, because I feel like Jackie sometimes uses Heavenly as her attack dog, but I feel like Jackie also doesn't care that much about Heavenly in the regards that a lot of people may think Jackie cares about Heavenly. I think Jackie sees Heavenly like as like, okay, we're co-workers, like we're a little more than co-workers, but like what you say doesn't hold any weight in my life like that. I think that's what it is. Quad, I feel like is the same way, but I feel Quad will go back and forth with Heavenly and Anila. Heavenly hasn't really come at Anila like that for Anila to have to like be ready to like be on guard. Really. So I just don't think, I think in some regards they enable her just a little bit, but at the end of the day, Heavenly is a grown woman, and I feel like everyone's been telling Heavenly about herself. Heavenly just don't care. She just really just does not care. So we see, like I said, Heavenly and Anila going out to lunch, and Heavenly sits down and she's like, girl, that was crazy. It was crazy what they did to me. And she was just like, she was like, I expected that from Simone and Toya. She's like, Simone's a flip flopper and she petty. And she was like, Toya is miserable in her marriage and her life. And then she reiterates the comment that she said, Eugene said, saying that Toya was the worst mistake he had ever made. And that she found that out from Quad, that I guess a few people that know Quad were hanging around with Eugene when Eugene said it, and they brought it back to Quad. And I was like, one, you threw Quad under the bus. And two, I thought Eugene had said that on the show and he didn't. So it's like you're bringing outside gossip onto the show just about this, just like this rumor about Quad supposedly sleeping with married men. It's like that's the stuff that gets Heavenly in trouble. And we get it. She don't mess with Toya. She don't see it for Toya. And the thing that's interesting about Heavenly is like Heavenly somewhat expects people to like have a sense of like grace for her, because I did watch one of her clips on her channel where she was talking about like Heavenly, what not Heavenly, Toya really didn't have anything nice to say about her mom dying. Like was like, okay, your mom died, like, and I'm just like, well, Heavenly, you rag and drag her and her husband on your channel with no regard, and you're expecting her to care that your mom passed away. Like, she don't like you, you don't like her. So it's like you can't do things to people and then expect them to have a piece of like compassion or empathize with you or be empathetic with you. It's like, girl, you talk trash about my living situation and my family every chance you get. As well as Heavenly, you quick to say your mama to somebody. Now, if somebody say your mama and you like she died and they say they don't care, what you gonna do about it? Like, it's wrong, but what you gonna do about it? But they're talking. Anila is trying to like really press on the fact that Quad had Heavenly's back. She's like, Quad really had your back. Like, she really had your back. Like, she's still upset with you, but I just want you to know she had your back. But then Heavenly tried to get spicy with Anila and be like, why you keep saying that? You keep saying that, we gonna have a problem. Like, that whole picture stuff, that body comment, we're past that. And Anila's like, it's not about that. It's about you saying that she out here sleeping with married men, ma'am. And she was like, well, the rumor's out there. And Anila's like, I haven't heard that rumor. And I'm like, Anila, let's not act like you be hanging around black people if it's not predicated on you being on this show. Your friends are very much your friends in your community. And there's no shade to that. Like, them your people, hang with your people. But like, I don't see Anila and Kieran hanging out with other black people outside of this cast right here. Like, so of course you wouldn't have heard nothing was going on in the black community. Like, we wouldn't have heard anything about what's going on in the Indian community. So let's stop. So this is where she got, like, to me, I feel like Heavenly, what's her name? Quad said like, oh, I'm about to clear y'all, them. And she said them specifically meaning Anila and Heavenly, because she told y'all she didn't like it. And now y'all keep doing it because Anila's like, what rumors? And they even say the lady's name, saying that like supposedly she's sleeping with some man. I think they said the man's name and her name is this. And she's been going around town telling people this, but they bleeped it out. And Anila's like, oh, well, I never heard that. And I'm like, sis, Why did you do that, Heavenly? Like, that's foul. Why did you do that? Like, you're breathing life into it. So then production asked Heavenly, so you never heard anything about that, the rumor? And then Heavenly's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, y'all trying to get me in trouble. I ain't heard nothing, like no rumor like that. And I'm like, well, you just said it. Like, they just played it. Like, you look stupid, lady. You look stupid. So we then get this scene with Contessa and Scott about their practice. The practice been open for a year. Y'all, their relationship is cringe. Like, that creepy smile that they did, like, we know their relationship is not good. I just think that they just didn't like everyone having things to say about their marriage. And now they're, and like I heard someone say, it would be different if we saw them actively working on their marriage, like we saw Simone and Cecil doing counseling when they were going through what they were going through, as well as we saw Jackie and Curtis do counseling. But we have not seen them go through counseling. They're just saying that they went through therapy and, like, we're good. But you can clearly tell there's still uncomfortableness around them, and there's still, it's like they swept it under the rug for filming because they don't want none of this going on. But I still think that, like, it's toxicity going on in that household. Like, the way Contessa was yelling, I know her and Scott get louder than that. And the fact that supposedly, allegedly, she felt comfortable to bring her child downstairs to fight in the argument lets me know that, like, their kids definitely know more than what they should know. And that's probably why their kids have slick things to say, or say some shady things that they probably aren't meaning to be shady. They're just being honest children when they're around. As well as Contessa keeps making references like, oh, I'm getting my body, I'm getting into shape because, maybe I might have another life after this. And now she is examining this one NFL man. Fine black man. But he's a retired NFL, I think they said wide receiver. He got like shoulder surgery. And then they started talking about the whole CTE thing. And she was like, I'm not hating my job today. And I'm like, girl, chill out. Because if it was Scott and it was the reverse of him touching on a woman, it would be creepy. It'd be creepy. And then we would be looking at him funny. So I'm looking at you funny. Chill out. And plus the way that they were cheesing at each other, because that man was fine. The way he was smiling at Contessa and Contessa was smiling at him, I said, oh, okay. I see what y'all doing here. I see it. I see it. But yeah, CT is something crazy. CT is crazy. And the thing about it is like, I always thought rugby was a lot more dangerous than football. But I have friends, like one of my best friends played rugby in college, and seeing her play, I started to realize, and I've read articles where they say, like, it's different when two bodies are slamming into each other. Your body can kind of take that impact versus all that equipment that we think is like protecting these players' bodies, like the helmets and the pads and all of that stuff. That's not doing that. It's actually making it worse to where when they are ramming into each other, it's like a car is hitting your body. That's why they have so many like neurological issues and stuff like that. But I will say, when he said he couldn't remember two numbers, I was like, I didn't think that was that bad because there's only 3 numbers I have memorized. I know area codes way better than I know numbers, but I only have 3 numbers memorized, and that's my family's. So I said, ooh. I said, is it really that bad? I don't know any other numbers. But she encouraged him to take a referral from her to actually go get a neuro exam to like help him, I guess strengthen his brain as well to make sure he doesn't have any critical damage or stuff like that. So let's get on to Miss Anila and these kids and Simone and Cecil's Halloween party and Heavenly talking to Daddy. So Anila and these kids, oh, I know Miss Gomez is happy not to be. And that's not to say that she didn't love them kids, but like, oh, that little boy screaming the way he was screaming. And a person with no kids, I could tell that he was putting on. I could tell that he was putting on. And I think, like, this is my thing. This is definitely my thing. There's nothing wrong with having a nanny, or a housekeeper or anything like that. Like, if you have the means to pay somebody to help you raise your kids, because it does take a village to raise kids. The issue comes when you are so hands off that you don't know how to like soothe or calm your child down. And that's what we saw with Anila. You got her daughter taking like 50 a million pictures, and that she was just snapping pictures with the phone. And it reminded me of when I gave my little cousin we did like a family reunion, I think in like 2012 or 2013. And my little cousin, we were riding in a car going somewhere, so I just let him hold my phone. He ended up taking like more than 100 pictures of himself in his car seat, and they were actually like really good pictures. I still have pictures of him. I leaned in and we took pictures together. But like I went through my phone, I was like, bro, I didn't understand why and how he took so many pictures, and they were actually good pictures. And he couldn't have been no more than like maybe 3. And he was smiling, doing poses. I said, now look here. They were cute pics. I ain't even gonna lie. They were very cute pics. But I was just dying. I said, I wonder how many pics she just took. Because she was just snapping pictures of her mom holding the baby, while holding her brother while he was crying on the floor. It was so much going on in that house. But I was just like, Anila, were you that hands off? And I was like, no wonder Miss Gomez was ready to go be a grandmother to her kids. Because Anila was like, after she goes down and says all the things she has to do, where she was like, I got to get the kids up at 6:45 in the morning. I got to clean them, make them take a shower, feed them breakfast, make sure their homework and stuff is in their book bag, drive them to school because they go to 2 different schools, in the middle of the day, clean up the house, do this, and this, then go pick them up, do this, do that, And I'm looking at Anila like, you're a parent. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, if you didn't want kids and you didn't want to do this, we wouldn't be doing this. And I'm just like, did you not work with Miss Gomez to create like a set schedule? And if you did, why are you not following the schedule? So it just lets me know she was not like hands on with her kids in these past 4 or 5 years Miss Gomez has been here. Cause she was like their grandmother. I was like, that's the issue. She should have not been their grandmother. She should have been their nanny. She should have loved them and did what she did, but there should have been some separation. Why do you think she run into Texas to go take care and be a grandmother to her kids, to her grandkids? Because all that love she gave them should be theirs. So I'm just like, did you not pay attention to when that lady was at your house to see how she took care of your kids? So when she, in the event when she was leaving, that you could have been ready to do the same? It was just mad weird because that little boy was screaming. She couldn't handle it. She over there in distress, calling her mom being petty, laughing at her like, girl, because she was like, were we good kids? And she was like, no. But I guess her mom is like, Anila says like her mom and her are total opposites. Like her mom lived for her kids. Her mom wanted to be a mom. Anila doesn't like want to live just for her kids, which she doesn't have to. But it's like, if you didn't want kids or you weren't ready for them, you probably shouldn't have had them. Like, you have the means to like get another nanny, but I'm gonna need you to actually like be hands-on with the kids, baby, because it just seems like you just let Miss Gomez do everything while you did your blogging and your vlogging, and then like at night you just came in and kissed them and that's it. And it's like, and then what she cooked them for dinner, that like dry Kraft macaroni and cheese with like, and that limp, I was like, where the meat at? Vegetables. I said, you just gonna feed them macaroni and cheese? And then someone said, it looked like taquitos that she was feeling. I said, okay, where the vegetables? Like, you could have fed them mac and cheese, some chicken fingers and some broccoli or some green beans or some carrots. I was like, Anila, what is this struggle meal you feeding these children? I can't. We then get this scene of Dr. Heavenly talking to Damon, and they're all getting ready. Like, people are getting ready to go to Cecil and Simone's Halloween party. And she's like, what you there, daddy? I don't think I'm going to get beat up too much. And he's like, what? So I guess Heavenly didn't tell him right away what happened. So she sits down with him. She pulls out this, like, it looked like a photo booth little thing, pictures of her and Contessa. And she was like, I think it was Contessa's birthday. And we found out that Contessa and Heavenly did have a good friendship. Like, they were going on family trips together. They were really being there for one another. And she was just like, I can't believe Contessa would do me like that, daddy. Like, she was my friend, daddy. She was my friend, And then she gonna hang out with these girls like Simone and Toya who don't like me, daddy. And I was like, girl, what is with this baby voice? Like, you can definitely tell that, not Simone, Heavenly does not act the way she acts with the women or the way she acts on her YouTube channel with Damon or even with her kids. She does not act that way. So it's just kind of like, girl, what is this baby doll act you putting on? So she starts crying, and I was actually surprised that she was crying. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, girl, like, you're really hurt by this. And it's crazy because it's like you got Contessa in the beginning of the episode crying, and now you got Heavenly crying. And I'm like, y'all are both hurt by each other, but neither one of y'all want to take ownership of really what you did to hurt each other. Like, Heavenly thinks what she's doing with Contessa is okay, and Contessa thinks what she's doing to Heavenly is okay. And honestly, to a certain extent, neither one of them are okay. Heavenly shouldn't be getting on her YouTube channel spraying her friends, and Contessa shouldn't have waited 5 months if they really had such a strong friendship like they're saying, to then blast the lady on national television. So either way, they're both disrespecting each other. So she sits down. Daddy is telling her that, like, you have to really, honestly, in but so many words, he was like, you have to watch what you say. And Heavenly kind of was like, you could tell that she was kind of surprised that he told her that, because he was like, most people don't really, like, he was like, I get your sense of humor and your friends get your sense of humor, but not everybody gets your sense of humor. So you can make a joke, but you can't be upset how people respond to it. The only thing that made me, like, tune Damon out is when he was like, women shouldn't be aggressive. Your power is in your meek and shyness. I said, if this goobery man don't shut up. And then Heaven was like, baby, what you talking about? We talking about Contessa, not you. And this lets me know that there's cracks. Like, not cracks, but they have issues of them in their situation themselves. Because I really don't think Heavenly is this. We know Heavenly is not this meek and docile lady, but she puts it on for Damon because she knows Damon likes that. But I was just like, girl, when he said women should rest in their, it's like that whole women should rest in their femininity. Girl, I'm a rest in whatever I want to rest in. Masculine, feminine, in between. I do me. But they gonna dress up like Pharaoh and Cleopatra for the Halloween party. Simone was a rich old black lady. I said, come on, rich old black lady. At first I thought she was what's her name? Corella DeVille. But she was a rich old black lady. Cecil was a person off of Money Heist. And my sister watches Money Heist. I have never seen an episode of Money Heist. We also saw is his name Michael? Is that one Michael? I can't remember. Their oldest son and his girlfriend coming to the Halloween party. We see Curtis and Jackie are pirates. Like I said, Heavenly and Daddy dressed up as Cleopatra and a pharaoh. Scott came by himself. Contessa lied and said she was out of town, but she was really at home studying for like an exam, and he let the cat out of the bag. But she basically said in her confessional she not ready to be around Heavenly like that. But Scott was Muhammad Ali. He had like the what's it called? The robe and the water bottle. Who else? Oh, Carrie was there. She dressed up as a nurse. I think that's it. Who else? Was that it? Oh, no. Toya and Eugene were Jay-Z and Beyonce. I got the Jay-Z from Eugene because of the afro, not the afro, but the locks. I didn't get who Toya was supposed to be. I said, girl, a tracksuit. I said, if it ain't Ivy Park, then it's not Beyonce. That's just a tracksuit, girl. I was like, this ain't nothing. But they were talking about, we were almost billionaires. Lies y'all tell. So the night gets to going, and we see, oh, and Quad was there. She was dressed as Wonder Woman. We then see a U-Haul pull up, and it's Kieran and Anila, excuse me, hopping out the U-Haul dressed as movers, like at their last name, like this, I think it's Sajan Movers. They got like uniforms embroidered with it, and Quad is laughing because Quad thinks it's funny. So she calls everybody outside. And at first, Toya didn't think it was that serious. Like, she was like, girl, I'm really on your mind that much that you decided to get clothes and like you spent money to get clothes embroidered to say that you were the Harris's movers and you rented a U-Haul. Really? And she was like, I don't think Toya was that bothered by it, but Eugene was pissed. Eugene was like seething. Like Eugene was just like, I don't find that funny. I find that to be offensive, and why am I the butt of your joke? So he even told Karen like, why am I the butt of your joke? And they're like, well, ain't it funny? And everybody else thought it was funny. Like the guys even thought it was funny. And but to Curtis' point, Curtis was like, if y'all were cool, then maybe this would be funny. And then Eugene was like, we're like, even if we were cool, that's not funny. And the only reason why this joke didn't hit for them is because Eugene is embarrassed that everyone is always talking about their financial situation because they're always moving. And I'm like, to Kieran's credit and to Anila's credit, it is a part of y'all storyline. And if y'all would stop moving and building new houses, we wouldn't be having these issues. Like this, you wouldn't be the butt of the joke. But I also understand nobody likes to be a butt of the joke. And I'm looking at Anila and Kieran like, don't be mad if next season someone dresses up like a nanny or a mom and makes fun at the fact that it seems like you can't take care of your kids, Anila. Cause it's like, it's funny until you the butt of the joke. But honestly, the costume didn't hit for me. Like, to me, nothing will ever top Nene and Greg dressing up as roaches and showing up to Kim's Halloween party. Nothing will ever, or was it Kim's Halloween party or Cynthia's Halloween party? But shout out to Cynthia, because I think Cynthia was the one that told them to dress up like that. That was funny. That was funny. And maybe it's because we all loved Greg and Nene when they were together. But that hit for me because Kim was livid, because Kim didn't think it was funny, but it was funny. But this right here is like, Toya and Eugene have never really come at, well, Eugene has never really came at Kieran. It's really been Toya and Anila beefing. So that's why Eugene is like, why is this supposed to be funny to me? Like, why am I being the butt of your joke? So he wanted to leave. Like, he was like, bro, we can leave. Like, we can leave. They're Kieran and Anila in their confessional like, Beyonce, calm down, calm down. And like I said, it's all fun and games until somebody hit a nerve on you and they start talking about how you can't take care of your kids, ma'am. But either here nor there. So Simone and Cecil kind of get them to calm down. But the thing is, like, y'all wanted to make fun of them. Because Anila, we did see Anila and Toya having a conversation. Because Toya takes Anila to the side. And she was like, it's a joke, Toya. We're not friends. And I'm like, you explain it. Y'all aren't friends. So it wouldn't be funny to me. Like, you're making fun of me. And y'all did it to make fun of them because y'all called everybody outside to make a spectacle. So it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. We then see the men go to axe throwing. And mind you, they had goggles. Which I was like, when I went axe throwing, we didn't get no goggles. It was fun, but it's tiring. The muscles up in here get so sore. Because I tried to like tomahawk it. And then they tell you to throw this way. It is so hard to get that thing to hit that piece of wood. But they go to the thing. I was on Eugene's side in this moment, and y'all know I love me some Kieran. But if someone tells you that it was like that, what you did wasn't funny, then you should just apologize, and that's it. Like, you can still think what you did was funny, but to be like, I'm sorry, but I thought it was funny. That was disrespectful, Kieran. And don't be mad when people start coming at your throat. Because when Cecil said, like, yo, I thought it was funny, but if you tell me that you're hurt by it, then you should probably say you're sorry. And that's the truth. If you still want to be cool with somebody, just apologize and move on. Just apologize and move on. So I didn't talk about this, and I was about to end the video, but this is where I think Heavenly is going to get ate up at the reunion with this whole like the rumors out there situation, because we see Quad and Heavenly talk at the Halloween party, and Heavenly is like apologizing to Quad and saying, you know, I'm sorry, I should have never said the thing about the married man comment, like that was wrong of me, that was really wrong of me. And Quad is like, it means more coming from you because everybody knows that we're friends. So now it's like you're giving weight to these rumors, which she ain't never lied. Quad ain't lying. So Quad even said in her confessional, she said, I'm talking to you, Heavenly. If I hear one more thing, I'm going to have to forego this friendship. And she might be foregoing the friendship as the season continues and at the reunion. She might be. And then the producers asked Heavenly, they're like, can you tell us why you're apologizing to Quad about sleeping with married men when you were also telling Anila that the rumors about Quad are true? Now, they were trying to trip her up here. She never said the rumors were about Quad were true, that she was sleeping with married men, but she said that the rumors are out there. So that's why Quad is upset, because those rumors are out there. So production was trying to get her to say that, like, the rumors were like that, trying to say that she said the rumors were true. She never said the rumors were true. Heavenly never said the rumors were true, but she did say the rumors were out there. So I don't know if they're trying to say, like, why did you confirm that those rumors were out there when you're like with Anila, when you're apologizing to Quad. But either way, sis is in for a rude awakening. But they're going to Las Vegas next episode, and it looked like fun. Y'all know Married to Medicine is one of my favorite reality shows. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in them comments below and tell me your thoughts. Deuces.